Good morning and welcome back to World Talks as we're taking a closer look at what's going on in Ukraine. When Ukraine broke through Vladimir Putin's red line, everyone was surprised, including the Russians. Ukraine's top general Oleksandr Syrsky has announced that Ukrainian forces are now holding around 1,000 square kilometers of Russian territory. I am joined here now by Rostyslav Khotin from the Radio Free Europe to discuss the latest in the Russia-Ukraine war. Good morning, sir. Great having you on. Thank you for agreeing to be here.
Good morning. Thank you for inviting me.
So let's take a closer look at what's happening in the Kursk region. 1,000 square kilometers. What else do we know about these latest developments there?
I remember it's actually the 12th day of Ukrainian incursion into Kursk region. I remember how figures, numbers have changed. At the beginning, it was like 200 square kilometers controlled by Ukrainians, then 450 square kilometers. Now it's more than 1,000 square kilometers of Russian territory under Ukrainian control. Also, Ukraine is in control of about 80 settlements in Kursk region. So 1,000 square kilometers and 80 settlements, villages and small towns in Kursk region of Russian Federation. What the latest is that Ukraine set up a military administration for Kursk, for Ukrainian-controlled regions, districts of Kursk region. There is now a military administration set up by Ukrainian side. Also, there were evacuation corridor established for residents in Kursk region who wanted to be evacuated even into Ukrainian territory. But there is still uncertainty, kind of unease with the Ukrainian population, public opinion, whether Ukraine should accept refugees from Russia or kind of settlers from Russia into Ukrainian territory. Kind of, Russia is bombing Ukraine, continues to bomb Ukraine, to target civilian infrastructure in Ukraine. And that's why there is kind of this unease with Ukrainian public opinion, whether Ukraine should be too welcoming for Russian citizens into welcome them into Ukraine. Also, two bridges over same river were destroyed by Ukrainian side yesterday. One of them has a significant strategic significance because it's used by Russian military for military supplies for Russian forces fighting on Ukrainian territory. So one of these two bridges is kind of has a strategic location, strategic significance. Other things are kind of, generally speaking, this operation has a mirror effect, kind of, Russia created so-called Donetsk, Luhansk People's Republic, so-called republics in Ukraine, in the Ukrainian Donbas region. Now there is a talk among Ukrainian users of social media about so-called Kursk People's Republic. You wanted to do separatist enclaves on our territory, we will do the same on your territory. Second, this operation has a significant moral boost for Ukrainian forces, which were on slight retreat for the last 9 months. And now, for the first time since August the 6th, the Ukrainian population is receiving kind of moral boost and good news about this operation on Russian territory. Also, there was a clear signal from Ukrainian side amidst this operation in Kursk region to international community. Please support us further. Look what we are capable to do. Unexpected successful advance on Russian territory. We crossed this Putin's so-called red line. We are operating on Russian territory. We're controlling quite a significant chunk of Russian territory. Please continue support us militarily and financially. That was a signal from Ukrainian side to international community, to the Western world. Also, Ukraine is trying to set up a security zone in neighboring Russian regions and Kursk region, and there was a small incursion apparently into Belgorod region to safeguard Kharkiv and other cities like Sumy in northeast of Ukraine, so that Russian forces are pushed back and will be not able to target Ukrainian territory from Russian territory. Also, Ukrainian operation has another significance to distract Russian concentration of attention in the Donbas in eastern Ukraine. Although the Russians are advancing there slowly near Pokrovsk, but nevertheless,
Right.
Ukrainians are trying to distract Russian military effort from the Donbas region into that now there is a problem on sovereign Russian territory. Also, Ukraine wants, by this incursion, to increase, to strengthen its position during the future peace talks with Russia, so that Ukraine has a trump cards, Ukrainian strong cards in its hands vis-a-vis Russia during future talks how to end the war with Russian Federation. Also, this operation has Russian internal political dimension. Ukraine wants to provoke a kind of unrest within Russian population in Russia. Ukraine wants to provoke thinking, critical thinking among ordinary Russian and Russian Federation that war is not something which is far away in neighboring Ukraine. No, 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 no. The war has come to your territory. It's on the Russian soil as well. Russia is a war-torn country now, also not just Ukraine. So you should be concerned about it. You should send show your unease to unhappiness to the Kremlin, that you are not happy that war has come to Russia, and that we should strive for peace with Ukraine. Also, Ukraine, by this incursion, Ukraine wants to strengthen its position in possible territorial swap with Russia. For instance, occupied districts of Kharkiv region could be swapped for occupied Ukraine-controlled territories of Russian Federation, or even further. Occupied Donbas could be swapped for Russian territories which are under Ukrainian control. And also, even from a nuclear point of view, there is in Ukrainian-controlled territory near it, not yet under Ukrainian control, the Kursk nuclear power station is the town of Kurchatov in Kursk region, which is under Russian control. Ukraine has no intention to take control of the nuclear station, but nevertheless, it should send a signal to Russia, stop occupation of Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant in Ukraine. Think like an adult, not a armed child. You know that what are you doing with nuclear stations in Ukraine? So because you're also exposed with this nuclear power plant in Kursk region. So there are many dimensions, many significance, layers of significance in this Kursk incursion. And but the main is that Ukraine showed resilience, acting unexpectedly, bravely, quickly, suddenly, and now for the first time almost in the Soviet-Chinese War in the 60s and the Second World War, the sovereign Russian territory is occupied by another country, is under Ukrainian control. The significant chunk, 1,000 square kilometers of Russian sovereign territory under Ukrainian control.
Right. So you've already sort of mentioned this, but I wanted to expand on this a little bit more. How does what's happening in Kursk, how does it impact what's happening in the other parts of the front line between Russia and Ukraine?
Yeah, Russia is slowly advancing near Pokrovsk in Donbas region, near Chasiv Yar also in eastern Ukraine. Kramatorsk is under danger in the Donbas area. Slowly, Russia is advancing there. People are leaving Pokrovsk now massively. So there is evacuation ongoing in Pokrovsk. Situation is difficult. Russia is slowly but advancing. But Ukraine is also advancing actually in the Kursk region. Of the last 24 hours, Ukraine advanced by 1 or 3 kilometers in some directions in Kursk region. So it's kind of tit for tat. You're advancing in the Donbas region, we are advancing in the Kursk region. That's kind of the mode of the military situation now. But Ukraine is trying to organize evacuation of civilians from Pokrovsk and other cities in Donbas. Slowly, Russians are advancing there, but slowly, with no strategic significance.
Right. So since the beginning of the conflict, there was much talk about the Russians having air superiority over Ukraine. Now Ukraine got their F-16s, and the US is considering allowing Ukraine to use long-range weapons as well, right? Certain kinds of missiles that need to be dispatched from these planes. So do you envision this happening? Do you envision this being greenlit, and what could that signify?
The thing with F-16s that they have arrived to Ukraine at the end of July, but their number is very small. I had several air jets, airplanes, F-16s, not a big number. By the end of the year, Ukraine will have more, probably dozens of F-16s. They are not to change strategically, globally, situation in Ukraine, but nevertheless they will help to boost Ukrainian chances of controlling the airspace of Ukraine, to kind of take away the air superiority from Russia. They are not so far involved into attacking operation. They are rather protecting Ukrainian skies, patrolling and intercepting missiles and drones. That's their prime goal. But nevertheless, F-16s have a significant moral boost for Ukrainian Air Force and for Ukrainian armed forces. And with the more planes arriving later, with dozens of planes soon, Ukraine will have control over airspace in Ukraine, and these F-16s will be more actively used in the military combat operation in the east. Not just patrolling skies and defending from the air point of view, but also used with they will be launching missiles, guided bombs, and so on and so forth. So there is this expectation that F-16 will shift situation in Ukrainian favor in the Ukrainian skies.
Right. So, and do you see US approving the use of ATACMS on the Russian territory? Will that happen?
We don't know. Ukrainian side has asked about it. Zelensky said several times that US should allow to use ATACMS, but we had reports, officially of course unconfirmed, that at least this bridge in Kursk region in Russian Federation, which was destroyed by Ukrainian forces, the HIMARS missiles systems were used for this operation. They are not as powerful as ATACMS, but nevertheless HIMARS apparently were used to destroy this strategic bridge in Kursk region or same river.
So I guess we'll have to wait and see what the future brings regarding the Kursk incursion and other developments. Rostyslav Khotin, thank you, sir, for being with us this morning. Much appreciated.
Thank you also.
And thank you for watching World Talks. Please stay tuned for more here on TVP World.